Hey everyone, figured I'd do a part 2 on this, putting the convertible back together. So yesterday Laura went down to Cameron's and picked up the new converter and the modified transmission. So we're switching to a lockup. So there's like clutches that are in there, do some magic. They had to change the input shaft. It's got like a little O-ring here. And then there is a solenoid here. So this is the first stage of lockup. So when you arm this, there's a hose that comes from here to here that I got to make still. But it feeds pressure to this. Now these are normally open valves, so they'll stay open until you activate them, and then there's jets back here to relieve some of the pressure off of it, so the lockup doesn't get full pressure, so you can soft lock it, and then you close one valve, then close the other, and it's got full pressure. So this is your converter charge pressure, this is lockup pressure, and then this over here is transmission mainline pressure. This is the trans brake. This is pretty sick. Little coil boots fit right over top of that little plastic thing that goes to the transmission. So we have the shift position sensor, the little 3-inch race back shock travel sensor that's out right now. I have to remake the bracket because the lockup is an inch taller than the old converter. So it gets this billet spacer goes in here, right? So Cameron makes this spacer, Cameron and Byron, they make this spacer to space the bell housing back. So we're fixing to put the transmission in. All we gotta do is make one line, and then we can put the trans in. When I set the car down, I'll kind of give you an overview of everything else. We got a whole bunch of other stuff done. So a bunch of stuff's back from powder. It looks pretty badass. So there's the filters. We'll go over that here in a minute. So let's shove this transmission and we'll be right back. All right, trans is in. Forgot to come back and redo this. But anyway, here's the rest of the car. Got most of it back together. We so charge pipe's all done from Tinsley. We got the HPT 88s on it. We're using Turbo Smart filters right off of the right on the turbos. We have Turbo Smart 60mm gates here. Again, I don't know if these are going to stay, but they're here just in case, right? So all the high heat stuff is done by Tinsley. Tinsley's Custom Coatings and Easily always does a killer job. And then this is the cold gate. Again, I showed this in the first video. We've got a gate position sensor on it, which when it comes time to start tuning this stuff, I'll make videos on like what I'm doing with it and how it works. But it's pretty straightforward. Anyway, high heat coating on the radiator. And then we put a little air deflector here. So the grill, it's all open through here, right? And there's like a big hole cut out right here. And then the grill is right in here. And then what we did is there's a panel that sits down here and butts up to the bumper, blocks it off from here, like all the way underneath of the car. So it should direct air right into the radiator. So we'll see, hopefully. There's the fan. That's the 2016 Camaro ZL1 fan. We'll see how it works. It moves a tremendous amount of air on the bench, so I think we're going to be in good shape there. And then Matt made these. Matt and Brandon over at Performance Fab made these. They are filter housings. So you can do one of two things. You can either take these Zeus buttons out and take this whole front cover off, or if you want to, you can just peel the filter off of them. So these little filters, I used one of those little filters on the other turbo. Worked really good. This setup is pretty slick. I'm a fan. So it's coming out pretty good. We're just about done with it. We are leaving tomorrow for about a week. We're going out of town. Justin will still be here, but Laura and I are going out of town, so I'm not gonna be able to touch this thing at all. Plus we've got stuff in the shop to work on that Justin will be working on, and when I get back I gotta get caught up. So this is probably gonna sit. Hopefully we get it fired up before Christmas. So a couple other things we did, I don't know if I covered them. Racecraft Elite limiters. These are pretty sweet. Set your total amount of front end travel and then dial it down, and it pulls a 1/16 of an inch out of it. So if you turn it a whole bunch, there we go. Now it's a lot shorter. So pretty cool. I'm a big fan of that. I was sick and tired of trying to slide the pin in down there. It's always a pain in the ass to get to. Coils were always in the way. So the yeah, came together pretty good. I think we should be a good bit faster than it was before. Well, I should say it should make a little bit more power than it did before. We changed to a 325 gear, lockup, converter, twin 88s. We'll see how we do. You know, not trying to light the world on fire with it, but would like to be able to put together a you know, a 670 or 660 average at sick week, and survive it, of course. So a lot of the wiring is done. We did it quick and dirty. So when we work on customer stuff, it's a lot nicer than this, but it's still, in all reality, it's nicer than the vast majority of what people do. So I really can't complain. We reused a bunch of the stuff that was here. You know, like coil wiring, EGT wiring, all that stuff was reused with these Autosport bulkheads, and then we had to redo some of the exterior chassis stuff, transmission stuff, and I like here put the new Rife shock travel sensors on it, so we just have to terminate those. We have TBM front wheel speed right there. That's been on the car though, so it's been working great. All we're waiting on is the new compressor covers and the turbo shaft speed sensors, and we should, in a little bit of time, and we should be good to go. So inside of the car, it's a big mess, but it'll we'll get it cleaned up. So for anybody who was asking about the air jacks, there they are. Yes, they still work. Yes, they still work great. Yes, I still like them. Yes, if I build another car, they will be on there. So there's the ones in the back. There's the ones in the front. So got a long list of stuff to do, but we're ahead of the game. So we'll see. Anyway, next video I make about this thing will probably be it running and working on tune-up stuff with this. And you know, explaining how the lockup works in this car. Tuned a few of them with lockup, a couple of nitrous cars with lockup, and two turbo cars with lockup. But you know, obviously you get to play with it a lot more when it's your own. So anyway, we'll be back. See you.